Hello everyone, I'm Kami, aka Hiroko, and I just watched K-pop Demon Hunters, and here are my thoughts. First up, I thought most of the first act was pretty cringe or poorly written. Maybe it's just me, maybe it's just cringe, but I didn't really find any of it to be all that engaging, and pretty weak as a whole, honestly. I'm not sure why they didn't go through a couple of rewrites for it, maybe made it a little stronger, but maybe I'll warm up to it on my next few watches of the film. This is, after all, my first time watching the film. Another thing of note is that I think the soundtrack is really strong, honestly. I hope it's on Apple Music or Spotify or something, because I'd like to listen to the individual songs. I like how the second act is filled with more conflict over anything, growth of the characters and them seeing that maybe the world isn't as two-dimensional as they think. And I know it's a little surface level what I'm explaining, but I'm trying not to spoil too much about the film while reviewing it. And I do have to say that I actually love our main character. I think she's a very strong MC and one that I appreciate a whole lot. I really like the talks between her and the demon I can't remember the name of. I haven't remembered the names of any character except for Bobby, the Huntrix's manager, but I know all the characters well enough to still make this review. I just don't retain names very well. Anyways, I really like the talks that she and the main demon guy have. It really fleshes out their characters, and I really like how it all concludes nicely in the film. I really like that they, spoiler alert right now, don't bring him back after he dies in some post-credit scene or something. I'm really glad that he does do his sacrifice and he does actually be sacrificed rather than the common animated film trope of, oh, he's not actually gone, guys. So that's nice. I really liked how she was constantly in an internal battle with what she was raised with, the be a hunter, push away all demons, and her being a part demon herself and wanting to help a demon because he's legitimately nice. I think it's very, very nice, and I like the conflict. Overall, I'm just really surprised at this film because I remember watching the first 10 minutes and being like, I really don't want to watch this. And now that I came back to it and actually finished the film, I have to say it's really quite a strong film despite what I first thought of it. And while we're talking about first thoughts, one of the first thoughts I had when watching the film was just how impressive the animation is. I mean, it's really amazing, really expressive, and it shows that, hey, Sony Pictures Animation is actually becoming a really heavy hitter, even if some of their films are only releasing exclusively to Netflix. However, there were a few problems that I noticed with this film. For example, there's some artifacting on the audio and some clear audio editing where they could have just done a second take instead of trying to splice the audio together like they did. But it's not terrible, it's not movie ruining worthy for me, it's just slightly noticeable, and honestly I hope that on my next few watches I tune it out when I'm not in the critic mind, because honestly, I really do think every other aspect of this film past the first act is really good. And the first act isn't bad, it's just weaker than I hoped it would be, and honestly, that's fine. Okay, admittedly, there are a couple more things that I want to talk about that I really didn't think I'd want to talk about. Like, for example, I really think some of the deliveries in the first act of lines are pretty weak and don't really have the energy they should, but maybe that's just me, and the pacing also feels a little too quick, like maybe there should be a pause instead of how it flows there, but it's not really terrible, honestly. Anyways, I'll probably make a follow-up to this video sometime soon when I eventually rewatch the film, but as is right now, I think I'm gonna give the film a 7.5 out of 10. Not too bad. I have more videos planned down the line for this channel, and hopefully I'll release a video every week. So, subscribe for that. Anyways, that's gonna be all for this video. Donate to my Ko-Fi, and I'll see you next time. Later!